Hi Stampers, this is Karen Phillip. I'm a Stampin Up Demonstrator and I'm pleased to show you how to make this card. And I got the idea because I was looking for a pop-up card. The sentiment inside says popping up to say hi. So I had to find something that popped up. So this card, I'll show you sideways, lifts up and pulls back. And it says popping up, here we go this way, popping up to say hi. And then on the tab part, it says every thought of you makes me smile. So it was sort of a fun card to make. And this just slides down, normally more easily. Depends which one I grab. So we have that, and here's our little sample. This is so fun. So this pulls out, and then I have a little ladybug inside. And these are pre-cut for the class. But this one is not, so I want to show you how to do that. And also on the back of your sheet are the written instructions, but if you have questions you can always go in the video. Alright, let's get started. So it's a lot of pieces to this one, so I did a lot of stamping ahead of time. And this is a bundle, and it's called Terrific Toadstools. It has the whole array of little toadstool things, and the punch. It punches out this big one and this one and a stem. So I don't know what the big attraction to toadstools are, but that's what we're doing. Like I said, I pre-stamped to save time. This piece is Petunia Pop, and I stamped some grunge on it from the stamp set. Where's my sheet here? From Textured Floral. There's a nice grunge in there. And then I also did that sentiment that said, what does it say? It says, every thought of you makes me smile. That's also in that set. And then this is the front, this is the back. So on the back, it looks like this. And I did some grass, a little toadstool thing, and a little ladybug. So that gives you an opportunity to write on there if you'd like to. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to look at my instructions so that I show you how I do everything. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is cut the opening for the front. And I'm using my stamp cut and emboss machine. And you need to have a flat top piece. This is a new plate. All of mine were getting pretty bent. This one you can see has been around a while, and that's okay as long as it's flat. So I'm using the Countryside dies, and I'm using the third one in. I already have a little piece of washi tape on it, and I'm putting this on the base plate, or the base piece, and that. The washi tape keeps it intact. So we just want to center this on the card, like so. And you can either, because this is the design on there, it doesn't matter top or bottom, this will be at my top away from the handle. So what I found, I'll explain two ways to do it. So we're going to be making sure we don't cut off one of the ends. If you do it from one side and just like the top, like you normally would do it, when you start putting this through, this top plate slides right out. So this is the way that I kind of fix that. You put your clear plate on top. This is like the hardest part of it. Slide it through. Oops, just the top one. Slide it through until you make sure it's all straight, otherwise it'll jam up on you. All right. So now I'm putting it so that just this is not covered by the plate. It's kind of hard to see. Let's see if I put something under it. There, you can kind of see now. See, I can get underneath here. but the rest I can't because it's under the plate. This is the end of the plate. So that's what we want. And now it will go through very nicely, and it won't cut that end. It will pop a little bit, but that's okay. And that's how you get your slit. It's pretty easy. Let me get this out of here. Okay. So now we have our piece. I'll set that aside so I don't lose it. Okay. So we have the opening. This is the part we did not cut right here. And we're going to put some score lines on it now. And I don't know, a lot of my people were not aware of this, but our pickup tool has a scoring tool in the kit. It comes with it. So it has a fat end and a skinny end, and we want to use the skinny end. So this is the pointy part. You twist it, pull it out. It also has a little spatula that you can use. So it's like 4 different ways, like so. Or we can use our stylus, and you put it in there and twist it, and now you have a stylus. A lot of people didn't know that. So now you do. Alright, I'm going to take a ruler. Had like 3 rulers out here. And you can do this on your machine, on your, what do you call it, your trimmer, but I think it works easier this way. I gotta find my ruler here real quick. There it is. I have it all here and then I don't. So what I'm going to do, again, this is my opening. So at the top of the opening here, I'm going to just put a little score line there so it folds open easier. So I'm just using my little scoring tool, and I just drew a line across, so you can kind of see it. But that's going to bring it up like so. And now I'm going to flip it around and put just 1/4 of an inch on the bottom part of it. And if you use your silicone pad, it's just enough padding to be able to get that crease. So, because you can't see that too well, it's just a little 1/4 of an inch scoring line, and that we're going to be scoring up. And then you will center this. You can measure it, or you can eye it up. I'm usually pretty good at eyeing things up. We'll see. And then you want to score the center. And you just are scoring this piece, not the whole card. So this goes up. Yeah, it's not centered, but that's okay. See, I'm a little off. And then this goes up and this goes down. So it's valley, mountain, valley. And you don't have to worry if it's not perfect in the center. It'll just go up less, that's all. No biggie. Okay, hope that's understandable. Now we're going to take our back piece, put it on the back, make sure you have the bottom where it's supposed to be, and the top of this one, like so. What we're going to do now is cut a little notch out of the top so that it's easier to grab. It's easier to grab the piece that comes up. Alright, so we're going to line them up. And I'm using the hexagon punch. It works very well. Again, making sure you have the bottom on one side and the top on the other. Line it up. And you just want a tiny, tiny bit of it. Make sure it's centered. And punch. If you need to mark it, you can. And then you have both pieces that have that little groove in it, like so. Alright. Again, I did stamp everything, so the back I stamped with a little bit of a mountainy thing, a ladybug and some mushrooms. So now the next thing we're going to do is take our back piece, flip it over, and just, oh no wait, before that, that's next. Sorry. I know I made a bunch of these. So now we have a little piece like this, and this one is 3 by 4 3/4. Again, all the dimensions will be on my website. So we're not using a whole lot of pieces here, which is kind of cool. So we're taking this piece, I already stamped it, and then I did put a little hole in here, and this came from the perennial postage stamp. And this is just one of the dies that are in that set. It's kind of cool. So we're going to line it up on the top with the circle, so you can kind of see. So these two edges are the top, and then you want this coming up out of the circle. Maybe this will help, I don't know. There we go. And then on the other side, should be pretty even side to side. You can adjust it now if you'd like to. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to lay that flat. Lift up this little piece that you have, the 1/4 inch piece. I would use glue for good adhesion. And you just put a little piece of glue on there. Let's see if I can hold it up for you. So it's just a little piece of glue on just that piece. And make sure this is not moved on you. And push it in place, and then just push that down and give it a little rub so the glue gets in there. You want to lift this up to make sure that any glue didn't get on here, and if it did, this will take it off. So I'm lifting this up a little bit and making sure that this is straight. If you have any overlap of the white, you want to trim it so that it's even with this piece. Looks a little not perfect, but that's okay. So then you'll want to test it. Hold your bottom down and lift it up, and that's how you get your mechanism to work, like so. Now we did this wrong yesterday, so I want to make sure I do it now. So we're taking our white piece, making sure the bottom is on the bottom, and we will lift up our, oops, it's hard to do it while I'm talking. All right, so we're lifting it up, holding that piece so it doesn't pop down. Take a pencil and just outline the bottom of your of the piece that's underneath. So here you have the outline in pencil. Now this part we do need to stamp, and I'm doing the grassy part, and we're just stamping the bottom because this is what we will see underneath here. So this part we need to stamp now before we put it together. So I have the grass, and because of the way it worked, I stamped at the bottom of my line, and it seems weird, and then I'm stamping the opposite side. For some reason that's the way it worked. Looks like lips. And then we're going to stamp a guy, a little ladybug guy. And there are spots that you can, and just putting him on the little hill, that you can stamp, but it's so tiny and hard to line up. So I just use my black marker. I'm coloring his head black, his legs, and then we were talking about in one of them has like seven dots, so we're putting on 7 dots just for good measure. Then we will take our sentiment that says popping up to say hi. We'll do that in black. Get some good ink, and make sure that you stamp it not toward the bottom, but toward the top of that line there. Center it, like so. Now last night we did this and we forgot to stamp the inside before we glued it together. and that really caused a lot of trouble. So that's why I'm saying make sure you stamp it before you glue it. So this part you can glue, but not the back. So now that we have this all glued, or stamped, here's the back, and then the front. We will turn this over, flatten it, and we will put adhesive. Glue works well because then you can move it. You don't want it close to this piece here. You just want it, oops, that one got gooey. You just want it along the edge. It's kind of a lot of glue there. Okay. Like so. So it's just the outside. Oops. The outside. Make sure you don't get close to this. You want this, put it toward the bottom, flip it over, and then I like to hold it up, and that way you can make sure that they're even. And so you have your front and your back, and then you can push it down. If you need to trim it off afterward, you can. Not necessary. And now we have the front, the back, so this I will trim off later. And then when you pull it, it just pulls up and it shows the inside of the design. Now we will put our pop-up part. I already stamped this part. It's just a circle, and I stamped the same green, 2 stems, and then 2 of the mushroom tops, and these are popped up. Now we will take our adhesive and put only on half of the bottom, not even quite half, like so. It looks kind of like a little smiley face, sort of. And then you don't want to extend the sides. You want to keep it kind of in because this piece extends off of here and it'll stick otherwise. So make sure it's just on the bottom part, and then you'll just center this flat. You don't want to pop it up, you want it flat, and then push down. So this is even. Here's my, let's put something white under it. Here. This should work. I'm just showing you so that you can see how this is. So you can see the little, this is the cutout part, and this is the bottom. And then when that's on there, then it pops up with it. Isn't that cool? This is so fun. I like fun cards. We'll add a couple gems and the ribbon, and a little trick for the ribbon. Not trick, but a little, the way I do the ribbon is you fold a little piece in half and you put it through. This is nice because it's easy to put through because of the size. Alright, so you push it through you take the circle, or the folded part, put it through the front, slide it up. You have a little loop here, and then you'll take both of these tails and put it through the loop. Kind of pull it through and just lift gently up. Kind of, you might have to wiggle it a little bit, but don't pull too hard, otherwise you'll rip the paper. And now we have it with the edge on it. So it's a fun card, and you can do different colors or whatever. I made one, my first one wasn't as successful, but I did it in the green. Like I said, it wasn't quite as a success, but a different color of card. So there you have it. I hope you have fun making them. They're not as difficult as they might seem. It's just a lot of stamping and stamp sets. So thanks for watching, and have a great day.